What is going on, Trash Talkers? We're back with another episode for you. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the Miami Dolphins and their 2021 season preview, including record predictions. All that and much more coming your way right now! Hey Trash Talkers, it's Mike here. Over 93% of you who view our show each and every day are not subscribed to the channel. If you could hit that red subscribe button, it would help us out tremendously, and it is completely free for you guys. If you want to stay up to date with our daily content, then click that bell icon and you will be notified every time we go live. Nick and I both really appreciate you subscribing to the channel, and we can't wait to keep making more daily content for you. All right, Nick, as we continue with this series, we continue on with the AFC East, and today we're going to be talking about the Miami Dolphins. Let's start off with some of their additions, starting off with defensive tackle Adam Butler, cornerback Jason McCourty, wide receivers Will Fuller and Jaylen Waddle, defensive tackle Malcolm Brown, cornerback Justin Coleman, Bernarderick McKinney, and defensive end Jaelan Philips. Out of these additions, which one do you think makes the most impact for the Dolphins moving forward?
Well, everybody said that Tua Tagovailoa struggled last season, but to me, that was because he didn't have any weapons to throw to. Now, with the additions of Jaylen Waddle and Will Fuller, that is absolutely massive. Devontae Parker comes back from injury. This is going to be a crazy three-headed monster for Tua Tagovailoa. It's going to be similar, very reminiscent of what he had at Alabama, and to me, this is exactly what this offense needs. Those two big weapons that they added, Will Fuller and Jaylen Waddle, are perfect. Will Fuller is an outside burner, and then Jaylen Waddle is going to be a crazy threat that runs over the middle of the field and can make people miss left and right. This is going to be one spectacular offense to watch.
Yeah, I like the wide receivers a lot, but the additions of Adam Butler and Jaelan Philips along this defensive line are going to be really key for this team. Adam Butler is a really good pass rushing defensive tackle who gets through the middle early and often, especially on third down, gets really big sacks. And Jaelan Philips, one of the better defensive ends coming out of the NFL draft this year. He was a 5-star recruit coming out of high school, had some trouble on and off the field, and bounced around NCAA a little bit. Ended up in Miami, worked opposite Greg Rousseau, absolutely lit up the highlight film. So I believe that these two together, paired with the dominant defensive line that the Dolphins already had, I think is going to be phenomenal for the Dolphins moving forward. They're going to get a lot of pressure, which is a Brian Flores staple. All right, moving on from additions, we have some losses to note. Running back Matt Breida, quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick, defensive tackle Davon Godchaux, center Ted Karras, linebacker Kyle Van Noy, defensive end Shaq Lawson, and tackle Julien Davenport. Of these, which do you think is the biggest loss for the Miami Dolphins?
To me, I'm going to take Davon Godchaux. He was a huge nose tackle for them and really helped them stop the running attack of the offense, and he's a big guy that they're missing. They tried to replace him with Adam Butler. Adam Butler's more of a pass rush type of a D tackle. He's more of a finesse style defensive tackle. Davon Godchaux is more of a hybrid. He can do both, but he at 300 plus pounds, he can really help stop the run very well. He's like a very young Lawrence guy, and I think that's why the Patriots went and got him from the Miami Dolphins. He's going to be a huge piece missing from this team, and I think the run defense is going to suffer tremendously.
Absolutely, but I think the biggest loss here is actually Kyle Van Noy, and not because Kyle Van Noy is such a huge leader and obviously my best friend, but I believe that Kyle Van Noy going to the New England Patriots is a double whammy for the Dolphins. I mean, you lose a guy like Van Noy who can absolutely get after any quarterback, go through any line, help in the run game, plays some special teams. I mean, this guy can do it all for you. Now Bill Belichick is reunited with this outside linebacker that he absolutely loved and dominated with, and Brian Flores loses him and replaces him with Bernarderick McKinney. I don't think that's really an apt replacement for Kyle Van Noy. I think McKinney has seen better days in the NFL, and he's kind of a shell of what he once was, especially during his time in Houston. But at this point, I believe that Kyle Van Noy is going to be a major loss for this defense. All right, From there, let's take a look at their schedule and go through their 2021 NFL record predictions. All right, taking a look at the Dolphins' schedule starting in week 1, the Dolphins go on the road to Foxborough to play the New England Patriots, and this is a game where they're going to be without Will Fuller. The wide receiver still suspended for a game, and this is going to be a tough game to play without Will Fuller. Jaylen Waddle still getting used to the system. He's not going to be fully in it. Tua still only really has Devontae Parker to rely on. I think the Patriots defense is going to absolutely swarm the Dolphins offense and really take this apart. I believe that the Patriots will come out on top in week 1.
In week 2, the Buffalo Bills make their way to Miami, and they face off for the first time this season, second divisional game in 2 weeks. And the Buffalo Bills are going to try their best to take down the Miami Dolphins, make them 0-2 on the season. But the Miami Dolphins, with the addition of Will Fuller now, they just become an even deadlier offensive threat. And this is going to be a little too much for the Bills secondary to handle. This is going to be a close game, but at the end of the day, the Dolphins offense is going to shine, and Tua Tagovailoa is going to get the job done.
In week 3, the Dolphins hit Las Vegas and go face the Raiders in the Death Star, full packed, ready to go. This place is going to be roaring. The Raiders are much more prepared. They are going to be very hyped up for this game. Dolphins come in as a strong contender. I just believe that the Dolphins are a little too strong for the Raiders. I believe that the Dolphins will get this road victory by a very, very slim margin.
In week 4, the Indianapolis Colts make their way to Miami, and this Carson Wentz offensive attack is going to be a lot for the Miami Dolphins defense to handle. The Indianapolis Colts are very well rounded this season. Carson Wentz is going to prove to be an upgrade over Phillip Rivers, and they're ready to show that they are a playoff team and possibly a Super Bowl contender. I think the Indianapolis Colts make their mark on Miami in week 4.
Then in week 5, the Miami Dolphins start their first of 2 road games going to Tampa Bay, staying within the state, but going to face a familiar foe in Tom Brady. And Tom Brady knows exactly what it's like to play against the Miami Dolphins, and he did it for 20 years. So Tom Brady, the Buccaneers, defending Super Bowl champions, I think they got this one in the bag. The Dolphins are still an up-and-coming team, still have a lot to prove, but the Buccaneers, they are looking for redemption. They are looking to continue their path for back-to-back Super Bowl titles, and I look at the Buccaneers to roll over the Dolphins in week 5.
In week 6, Miami Dolphins make their way to Jacksonville, staying in Florida for a 3rd consecutive week, and they are looking to take advantage of a young Trevor Lawrence, take advantage of a young team in general, and they do just that, as this offensive attack, again, proves to be too much for this Jacksonville secondary with a bunch of new weapons, and I think that the Dolphins defense, you got Xavier Howard, you've got Byron Jones, these guys are going to really take it to DJ Chark and company, and I think that the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to struggle in week 6.
Then in week 7, the Atlanta Falcons come into Miami, and the Atlanta Falcons are just not the same team that they once were. I believe that the Miami Dolphins are going to have a very easy time with this game. You know, Matt Ryan and Calvin Ridley, they're still going to have their thing, and Kyle Pitts, he's going to be a nice surprise for a lot of people, but other than that, there's not much more to write home about this Falcons team. Look for the Dolphins to make easy work of the Falcons in week 7.
In week 8, the Miami Dolphins face the Bills for the 2nd time already this season, and the Bills are looking to get revenge after losing an early game in the beginning of the season. The Buffalo Bills have come around. They've really figured out their struggles early in the season, and the Miami Dolphins are going to have a tough road ahead of them as the Bills are going to make easy work of this Dolphins offense. The Buffalo Bills offensive attack is going to be a little too much for Xavier and Byron to handle, and to me, the Buffalo Bills are going to roll all over the Dolphins in week 8.
All right, sitting at 4-4 going into week 9, this is not the start that the Dolphins were looking for, but nonetheless, they're sitting at 500. This is a time where they can make a decision. What team are we going to be? Are we going to let adversity take us over, or are we going to really push the pedal to the metal and show the world what we can do? In week 9, they're going to absolutely dominate the Houston Texans to the point where the Texans aren't going to want to play football anymore. Look for this Dolphins with Will Fuller, who used to be a Houston Texan, Bernarderick McKinney, who used to be a Houston Texan. They are here to make a name for themselves against their former team. Look for the Dolphins to absolutely stun the Houston Texans and destroy them in week 9.
Moving into week 10, the Baltimore Ravens head their way in Miami. This is a very tough matchup. It seems like every other matchup is a very tough one for the Miami Dolphins. And Lamar Jackson now has a ton of weapons around him. This is not the same Baltimore Ravens team that they've seen over the last couple of years. The Dolphins have a great offensive attack, but the secondary of Baltimore is still as good as it comes. And to me, the Dolphins' offensive weapons are really going to have a struggle against Baltimore. Baltimore should have an easy time in Week 10.
In Week 11, the Dolphins go on the road to MetLife Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey, to take on the New York Jets, their division rival. And listen, the Jets are still in their rebuild. They've been in a rebuild for 10 plus years now, so nothing has changed. But the Miami Dolphins hit the road, go there once again, get one of their easy victories of the year. And I believe that's going to be more of the same. The Dolphins are going to head into East Rutherford, and they're going to just waltz right out with another victory. They're going to put the pressure on Zach Wilson early and often and make him show what the NFL is really all about.
Well, the Dolphins are looking to string a couple wins together, and in Week 12, they face the Carolina Panthers at home. This is going to be a Sam Darnold-led Carolina Panthers, so they know exactly what he's all about. Robbie Anderson, again, another weapon that they know how to scheme against. Brian Flores is going to have a really nice time getting the edge over this Carolina offense, and the Dolphins' weapons are going to be a little too much for this young secondary that the Carolina Panthers have.
All right, sitting at 7-5, the Dolphins are looking at like it's on the up and up, but in Week 13, the New York Giants come to town, and the New York Giants are not playing. You thought that the Dolphins made some incredible acquisitions at the wide receiver position. Well, get ready to see the New York Giants, because the additions of Kenny Golladay, John Ross, added in with Sterling Shepard and Darius Slayton, these guys are going to absolutely dominate against the Dolphins. I look for this to be a 100% shootout. But the difference maker for me is Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley is going to have his way with this defensive line that's not going to be really ready to stop the run. In fact, he's also one of the biggest receivers that they have on this team. So look for Saquon Barkley to have his way this week. Week 13, the New York Giants are going to get this win and really put a stand on the Miami Dolphins.
In Week 14, the Miami Dolphins finally have their bye week. It's as late in the season as you could possibly get, and they needed it. Moving into Week 15, they are hungry, ready to go, and they're facing the New York Jets at home. This is going to be an easy game for Miami. They are fully healthy. They are ready to prove that they are back on the winning ways of football, and they are going to take it to the New York Jets, take the season over the New York Jets as well.
In Week 16, the Dolphins hit the road for the first of two straight, and they go to New Orleans where they face the Saints. And I believe that, again, this is not the same Drew Brees-led Saints, but Jameis Winston is still a respectable quarterback. He still has Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas. Those guys need to absolutely ball out for this team to really get some wins under their belt. I believe that the New Orleans Saints on Monday night will be able to showcase what they are all about and are going to upset the Miami Dolphins at home in NOLA.
In Week 17, this is a very make or break game for the Miami Dolphins as they head to Tennessee facing Derrick Henry, Julio Jones, and A.J. Brown. I think this is going to come down to the rushing attack for the Tennessee Titans, because I think Xavier Howard will take care of Julio Jones. I think Byron Jones should have a nice game against A.J. Brown. But Derrick Henry against this Miami Dolphins defensive line, to me, they don't have the weapons to really stop this guy. I think Derrick Henry's going to have a huge game, 150 plus rushing yards against the Miami Dolphins. And I think the Tennessee Titans are going to etch this one out in Week 17.
All right, sitting at Week 17, the Dolphins are 8-8, and they have one game to get on the winning side of football in 2021. And I believe that they have what it takes to beat the Patriots in Miami. The New England Patriots consistently struggle at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, and I believe that that is going to be more of the same. I think the Dolphins are looking to put a statement on their season. They are fighting for a playoff spot here. And who knows if they'll make it, but they have to get this victory in order to get that done. I believe they do just that, and they beat the Patriots in this one.
Well, sitting at 9-8, it's not the season that the Miami Dolphins were looking for, but I believe that they are still improving. It's a slow improvement, but they're still getting there. This is a very tough division to play in. The New England Patriots are still a very tough team, and the Buffalo Bills have proven that they are taking this division over, and they're not letting it go anytime soon. With those two teams still in the division, this division now becomes one of the hardest in the NFL altogether, let alone the AFC. And I think the Dolphins have really done a good job, all things considered.
Yeah, listen, the Dolphins, they've made some great improvements, but they have other areas that they have to start working on. The middle of that defensive line, Adam Butler's great, but you got to replace Davon Godchaux in the run game. You got to replace the outside linebackers. You got to fix up your offensive line. I think they have some key pieces that they have to worry about on their side. And the one thing that really is going to stand out to me, can Tua Tagovailoa actually show up with the weapons around him? Nick, you talked about in the beginning that he didn't have weapons, and I'm fine to give him that benefit of the doubt, but this season is going to show me a lot. With the weapons that he has, Jaylen Waddle, Devontae Parker, Will Fuller, can he get the job done? We haven't even talked about Mike Gesicki. I believe that Tua is in a make or break season, because if he cannot show us why he was a top selection in his draft class, then I believe that the Dolphins have to continue the search for a bona fide quarterback moving on. Either way, the Dolphins have a lot of questions that they have to get answered this year. I'm looking forward to this season, but the Dolphins, as we have it, are sitting at 9-8 at the end of the 2021 NFL season. All right, well, that's going to do it for now. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell. We go live every single day. That'll be all. Peace and love.